Hey, Drew, you killed this shit. Drew, you killed this shit.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode in the Four Corners of Wrestling. This is a 613 Faye production. Before we get started, go ahead and like, subscribe. I'm going to push them two buttons right there and share this video, and we appreciate you. What's up, fellas? Hey, and what's up to the fellas out there? What's happening? Quabo, Jay, Will, Colin.
What's up, man?
What's up, Mark?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling today, man? How y'all feeling today?
Getting ready for the snow.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a cold one.
Oh, yeah. This snow's about to hit.
Yeah. Hey, we need it too, man. We ain't had one in a few years, man. So I hope y'all bundled up, you know what I'm saying, stocked up, and just ready to watch the show. All right. Speaking of shows, Royal Rumble, baby. Going home shows. And we got some AEW Impact and, you know what I'm saying, NXT, everything you want here. Let's get it going. We're going to start off this week with Raw. And they had their going home show. It was, in my opinion, but we'll get into that. We're going to go down the card right quick. All right, so it started off with Goldberg and Drew. Well, Drew coming out, and he just needs to leave that sword back there because he's going botching that shit. And then Goldberg came out after him, and then Miz and Morrison came out to do their shtick, you know. Then we had 30 minutes of the women out there, you know what I'm saying? It started off with Charlotte versus Shayna Baszler, and then that turned into a 6-woman tag match, where it was Charlotte, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke versus Shayna, Nia, and Lacey. Then you had Slapjack versus Xavier Woods. The Hurt Biz did a little skit with R-Truth, who he's going to get beat up one day. Sheamus versus John Morrison. Sheamus getting that double paycheck. So was John Morrison because they did a double match where it was Sheamus versus John Morrison and The Miz. Then we had a little skit with Rick and Lacey. Give me a flashback to Vince with Trish. Then you had R-Truth, crazy ass, versus AJ Styles with Omos. And then you had the gauntlet match with Riddle versus Shelton Benjamin first, MVP second, and then Cedric Alexander. Then we had Edge coming out. I like Edge doing this thing. And then you had, at the end, the main event, my boo Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But we're going to go around the square circle, you know what I'm saying? Holla at my boys. Silver Spring by way of DC in the blue corner. Quabo. What you think about Raw, baby?
Oh, Raw was entertaining. It was definitely entertaining. There was a lot of special moments. So, I mean, let me go over some of them just because I know PipeBomb's bitten at the bit, you know, just chomping at the bit to give you all the facts. So let me give you the funny stuff first, right? So let me give you the funny stuff first. So the funny stuff first, the start, hilarious. You have Miz and Morrison coming in, you know, and I love how they taunt Drew. Okay, that's one of my joys. It's hilarious to see it.
Hey, Goldberg, hit him, Drew, hit him.
Enjoyable, I'm telling you. But the fact when they turn the tables and you see Goldberg hit that spear, I was like, it's been a while. It's been a while since you've seen something that good. But you also had Drew hitting Morrison so hard that I was like, damn, I know that Morrison can sell, but he sold that one good. I was like, he did that one good because that cake looked believable. Like I was like, oh, I didn't know that was his finisher. Okay, that is his finisher now. All right, beautiful. You know, and throughout the show, you know, you got those little highlights too. Rick, Lacey, you know, I like to laugh. but I like a little drama, a little entertainment, and trust me, body language goes a long way. One of the best in the business. Ric Flair has a great way with body language, styling and profiling. So it's funny to see his interaction with Lacey. Even though I'm not a big fan of Lacey, I was able to watch through, and it was like, okay, well, they're working on it. They're working on it. But the one that took the cake for me in laughter in this episode was Truth's promo. Oh my goodness.
Man,
Truth making
MVP's gonna kick
jokes.
his ass one day for real.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I don't know when. It's gonna happen.
He gonna
It's
give him
gonna
that
be
business.
good. It's gonna be good because the truth. He's making jokes about benevolent. Benevolent. He
Oh,
tells
he said I'm a
AJ,
Capricorn
AJ,
or
are
a
you
bird or
Capricorn?
something like that.
Looks at almost like, hey, you're a Taurus, right?
Right. I had a Taurus once. I had to tell Road Dog, man, you gotta take. Hey, you brought a Road Dog. Hey, and I
Gotta
took you
take
back.
that
Remember Road Dog was
timing
telling you?
belt.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Oh man, but you also get to see that match with R-Truth and AJ. I think that was an enjoyable match to watch. It was funny, and it also shows you like Truth has been doing this for a minute, man, and to do that
Long
with
time.
AJ and to see their kind of work and see it flow so nicely, it was good. But Sheamus being in the Rumble, I'm excited about that. But also just the way that everything developed throughout the entire now the ending. I want somebody. I would love somebody in this squared circle to explain what the hell happened at the end. I would love to hear
Man.
that.
Man, I
I
look,
don't
look.
got
I'm gonna
any
say it like
answers.
this. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm just glad Oscar didn't lose the belt because I was on my she lose we riot shit out here. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
believe you.
yeah,
I
I
was
was
with
gonna
you on
be
that.
upset. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go over to Jay Will, Flair Country, and Lando by way of Greenville. Woo, North Carolina.
Woo!
Jay Will, what you think about Raw and your boy Ric Flair and everything up in there? What you think?
Okay, I love Ric Flair, but bro, this Lacey thing is cringy. It's so gross. It's so gross. But it shows Charlotte is really working on her mic work. I think that she's really developing in such a strong way. The show this week really shows me like how Charlotte is really putting in so much effort. I really enjoyed the match with her. It really showed me how much better she does solo on a show than it does as a singles than versus like as a tag team. I think I enjoy her much more in that sense. I think that's seeing this match as a build up for something that we're going to see later on down the road. Hoping, wishing on that. Big moment for the night for me might have been with Edge announcing that his entrance into the Rumble. Now, Ed, I grew up in the era, the Attitude Era, and seeing him come up, and I always thought of him as amazing. And his mic work amazing, his in-ring ability amazing. The spear may not be the best, one of the most devastating moves coming from him, size-wise, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the Rumble. Low moment for the Raw for me. The Hurt Business and their promo. That might have been one of the worst promos I've ever seen for me. It didn't hit for me, but any moment that the Miz gets his ass handed to him, it's a good thing for me. The Miz he's a good character that draws such good heat, and you kind of want him to get his ass whooped. You want to see him get beaten up. The promo for that, no. The Xavier Woods match on Raw versus Slapjack. Good match, decent match. However, with Mustafa Ali at the end of when he, taunting him and they're holding him down, it was such a good moment. But like the way they just walked off instead of like get a kick to the face would have made this much more intimidating and much more impactful in the end. I thought that like that moment, just that clincher of a kick to the face or a solid punch to the face would have sold it a whole lot more for me. Let's go back to that match with Nia Jax.
Nia.
Nia. I keep saying her name wrong.
Keep on
Nia
disrespect
Jax.
my boo. He don't mean it, Nia. He don't mean it, baby.
My bad.
He
My
don't
bad.
mean it.
If you guys remember a previous episode where we talked about finishers, and I'm a firm believer that the leg drop was a whack move when Hogan did it. But seeing her drop that leg drop, it genuinely looks devastating. And it is impactful. It shows to me how she is doing a very good job of using her size. And I'm one of the people that's like, I'm empowering of women. And it's not to say that making fun of her size. That is genuinely the signs of a good wrestler when they use their size to their advantage to sell moves. And that is a prime example. That leg drop looked fierce on the show. Now, AJ Styles and R-Truth might have been the match of the night for me. I just love AJ Styles. He is an exceptional heel. I mean, he draws heat in ways that you can only enjoy. And he puts on even better matches. Like, how can you not enjoy matches that this guy does? I love him. Raw overall, though, there's more to be desired, but I wasn't bored the entire show. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Well, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. You know what I mean? That leg drop for Nia Jax. You know, Colin, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty devastating. But it does hold to my point, you know, that somebody asked Nia Jax, you know, or Yokozuna would make that move devastating. So, Colin from DC, what did you think about Raw?
I mean, this Raw just highlighted a lot of issues that I have with the WWE currently. I think I mentally blocked out the fact that, 58-year-old Bill Goldberg is going to be fighting for the world title. I literally blocked it out of my head. For some reason, I know it was happening. I knew it was coming, and I don't know what happened. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. So I think I just literally just wiped it from my brain. So I don't understand the point of this. Drew beats him. He beat a 50-year-old. He would just beat a 50-year-old man. Goldberg beats him, and he dominates a guy, or he beats a guy that dominated your entire Raw roster. So it's a lose-lose situation. By the way, one spear. I think he speared Miz. He speared Miz, and Goldberg was sweating bullets. he was gassed. He was tired. He was winded. The dude can't even do a 2-minute match. So I don't understand what, again, I don't know what they're expecting him to do against Drew on Sunday, but it's absolutely ridiculous. If you see one Sheamus match, you've seen them all. I don't care about that dude. He needs to disappear from my TV. He's kind of he's like Baron Corbin to me. He's like, okay, you're there. You do the same thing. You always do the same thing. It's nothing new. It's nothing interesting. Bye. Get out of here. Tom Phillips talked about how things would have looked differently if Shayna Baszler had won the Royal Rumble instead of Charlotte. Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Baszler should have won the Royal Rumble last year. That's what the Royal Rumble is supposed to be, establishing younger talent and letting them, use this as a moment to further their career. I think Baszler should have won the Rumble. She should have turned around and beat Becky. Becky at the moment was stale. And she was stale, and it was her time. I guess she was on the way out too. Maybe they didn't know that she was pregnant at the time, but Becky was stale going into that match. Here was your opportunity. Baszler was fresh coming up from NXT, shock the world, win the Rumble, shock the world, beat Becky Lynch. That's how you go. Instead, you gave it to Charlotte, and look what happened. She did nothing with it. She ended up challenging Rhea Ripley and then doing nothing with the NXT title. So it hurt Baszler. And it hurt Rhea, and it did nothing for Charlotte. Speaking of established stars winning the Rumble, that's going to bring me to Edge. He's 49 years old. Why is he entering the Royal Rumble? I loved Edge. I loved Edge from the beginning. I loved when he was with the Brood. I loved when he first came in, I think in '96, when he's coming from the crowd. Then, he went on to the Brood. Love that man. The downward spiral to the spear. Everything about Edge screamed superstar to me. His time has passed. Jay Will said something like he looked forward to seeing Edge in the Rumble. Yeah, nigga, I did too. Last year, that time that's gone. That time has passed. It's time for the next level, the new generation of the stars to get this moment. I don't think we needed Edge to be in this Royal Rumble. He had a moment, like I said, he had a moment last year. He had a moment that the Royal Rumble coming back at the Royal Rumble, and then he had another moment when he fought Randy Orton. So he's had his moment. It's time for him to move on. Charlotte telling Rick that he's going from legend to old man was trash. No, he's just Ric Flair being Ric Flair. He's a dirty old man. He hits on women.
I'm tired of seeing that shit, but go ahead.
He's been doing it for 40 years. Ric Flair's. You got to go with what Rogers did the dance. That's it. He's doing what he's always done. So it's kind of like, let just Flair be Flair. Her running her mouth again. She was the one for the last couple of years. Anytime Rick did something that she didn't like, she was quick to talk trash about him and say disgusting things about him. So good. Turnabout's fair play. By the way, speaking of Ric Flair, I think is WWE trying to kill him? Because I really started. I really like. He almost died 2 years ago. The man is 71 years old. There's a global pandemic. Their WWE champion just had coronavirus. There's been word of several outbreaks within the WWE locker room in the past, 6 to 8 months. Why the fuck is Ric Flair anywhere in that building?
Hugged up on Lacey Evans, nonetheless.
Right. Well, you don't know what you catch from Lacey Evans, but you know damn well, like Drew McIntyre was just in that ring an hour ago. Like, I'm not saying it's just gonna stay in the ring. I'm not saying he still has it, but still, there's no payoff for Ric Flair. There's no payoff for Ric Flair to being there.
Okay.
Oh no, I was saying the line of the day, or the line of the show was Byron Saxton reminding everybody that R-Truth's childhood hero is John Cena, and Randy Orton RKOing Alexa was great. I loved it.
Yeah. I was hoping somebody was going to bring that up, because what I'm saying, I think Quavo had mentioned it earlier, so the ending of Raw, and like, I'm telling you, if Oscar would have lost the belt, because I already had that feeling. Okay, Alexa's coming out, and like you pointed out, Colin, they're doing this little murder clown thing, and we seen what happened when the Fiend came out. So I'm like, man, if y'all take this belt off my boo, man, we got a big ass problem. And Randy came out and he saved the day. So thank you for bringing that up, Colin. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, that was my highlight right there.
No, you didn't cut me off. That was the best. Yeah, I agree. That was definitely my highlight of the show. Good. Her little murder clown gimmick. I'm tired of that shit. Just RKO. End it.
Get her out of here. Jay Will, red corner.
So I brought up last week how I appreciate Alexa Bliss with the whole murder clown thing. Again, with the Fiend, we kind of get a Joker and Harley Quinn thing. I like that. Randy Orton comes in and shows that the RKO is rated E for everyone. I mean, anybody can get it. Granted, I still don't like how we're kind of burying Asuka. Don't really like that so much. I enjoy her matches, but if we're going to put the title on somebody, let's put the title on somebody who's worth it. Not sure I see anybody just yet. I don't see it. PipeBomb. Let's dial you back to Bottle Rocket for a second, okay? Now, you talked about Ric Flair being a dirty old man. Okay, I look, I said it was cringy, but years ago that made sense. It made sense for us to see him doing what he does. Yes, it made sense. Now, in 2021, bro, you're like 90. You're 90 doing what you're doing right now. No, it is cringy. I'm not, no. And yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you in one sense of there's no real payoff to see him in any sort of thing. Like having him just there is already just enough. I don't need to see it. Like, granted, it was cool to kind of see what was happening with him, like working with Lacey, but then like he cost his daughter a match. Like that's a whole other thing. But now it's like, all right, I think I've seen enough of this right now. But I mean, I just really want to see what the payoff is going to be with the Royal Rumble. I just really want to see what the payoff, the final results of him being there is going to be.
Okay. Quavo?
Yeah, I definitely want to see that payoff too. And like I said, for comedic and dramatic purposes, it works. But in the wrestling world, like for storyline purposes, it it doesn't build the kind of hype I would expect it to for the network, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Just because I know I've seen a lot of how do I explain it, versatility in the way that um what's called in the way that Flair develops a storyline or a feud with a stable or with an individual wrestler. So seeing that they're revamping the same thing over and over again, and it's just like, come on now. Like
Right.
at this point, you should be going to another level, not plateauing in the storyline. There needs to be some kind of twist, something to engage me as a listener. But other than that, I mean, it's just I feel like from what Raw was giving us this week, it
Mhm.
was worth it to watch it because one, you got to get a glimpse to the pay-per-view that's coming up. But
Mhm.
two, we still haven't talked anything about the Fiend. And seeing the way that they ended with the Fiend with Alexa, I mean, like I said, it's with the network, it's usually too little or too big. And they get lucky sometimes with the too big without even trying. But this
Mhm.
time it was just too little, man. It's too little. We've been waiting to hear from the Fiend. We need to see the Fiend. And I think that's just the one thing that it would be missing. And I think that's why when Raw ends like that, it just leaves you with a flat taste, like a souffle that kind of just deflated before it made it to the table. Like we're missing something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Colin, what you think?
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely missing something. Raw is definitely missing something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think it's just got to be maybe building up the stars properly. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just they just have to build up the stars properly, give them good storylines, uh, just give them something interesting. I just think
Mhm.
I think Vince gets fixated on one guy, and then he basically has a lot of other people coast. I think he uses the other people that are coasting to build. A random example: somebody like Keith Lee. Keith Lee is not very interesting right now. I felt they could have brought him in another different way, in a more interesting way. Maybe you have him, stick him with a manager, like Malcolm Bivens or something like that. Yeah, just do something interesting. Do something with him. You just don't have him show up one night. Hey, I'm here. I'm going to challenge Randy Orton. Now I'm going to fight Drew McIntyre. Okay, I'm going to fight Sheamus. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no story behind that.
Mhm.
And now he's kind of like lost by the wayside. They fed him to Drew 3 weeks ago, and now he's just kind of lost by the wayside. He's going to enter the Royal Rumble, but there is no build up to him, and they've done that consistently. Excuse me, with a bunch of different people. So I don't know when you do that consistently with a bunch of different people. You don't build up a foundation. You're just worried about one or two guys. Then what happens is the foundation cracks, and then you're kind of just stuck. So a lot of the shows are this just look the same. They feel the same. They look the same.
Mhm.
Again, building up or rallying around somebody. The Fiend. Everything they do is to hype up the Fiend. But the problem is, the Fiend has to get a comeuppance. He's a murder clown. He's like Jason or Michael Myers or whatever. He's impervious to pain. It takes you have to hit that man with a damn tank in order to maybe beat him, if maybe and
Hit him
perhaps
with a missile.
hit him with a missile. So you have a bunch of dudes. You had Daniel Bryan and you had Seth Rollins and you had Randy Orton do all this extra stuff, but Goldberg could come in and beat him within 2 minutes. Could barely get him up for a half-ass jackhammer. So they,
Mm.
they box themselves into a corner. They push and push and push and push and push. Put everything at a handful of commodities, and then next thing
Mhm.
you know, they're back into a corner, and it's a weak payoff. Uh,
Mhm.
and then we'll get into all that when we get to SmackDown, because that's why I've been saying to you guys, they're backing themselves into a corner with Reigns. Same thing with what's happening on Raw. It's just a shame.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, it was for me to be their going home show. like it didn't come together for me. You know what I mean? Like I was just mainly excited to see Asuka keep her belt. You know, R-Truth, you know, that was funny. Um, you know, I'm more interested in seeing, you know, MVP kick his ass. And like, where are we going with this to the Rumble? Okay, we got the Rumble, but y'all more focused on Dan Goldberg and, you know what I'm saying? See, I can't remember his name, Drew McIntyre, than the actual Rumble. I want to see these motherfuckers go in there and kick ass. Focus on that. All right. Moving on. We had AEW Dynamite, Quabo. And it was an interesting show. It was
Shots
an interesting
fired.
show. Yeah. You know, there was some snow out there, you know, say Quavo. So, you know, since Sting showed up. Sting showed up, Jay Will Colin, you know what I mean? But this was the card from AEW Dynamite. All right, we had Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. I like Eddie Kingston's character, and Lance Archer sent, you know, Jake to the back. He wanted to take care of Eddie Kingston by himself, you know. You had John Moxley come out and do his promo and thing. Then you had, you know, Darby and Sting, you know, talking their mess. You know, then you had Jericho and MJF. Oh, I love MJF. Great guy, great heel. Versus the Varsity Blondes. And Jericho had a little shout out to Jim Cornette. Yep, we seen it. Then we had, you know what I'm saying, Tony Schiavone in the ring calling out Cody, and Cody and Arn came out and did their thing. And they mentioned my baby Jade Cargill. I love you, Jade. Then you had Hangman Adam Page versus Dolph Ziggler's brother, who made his premiere, his entrance, Ryan Nemeth, I believe his name is. And then Matt Hardy came out to support Hangman, which was interesting. Then you had Dax Haywood from FTR versus Jungle Boy, which was interesting. Then you had Dr. Britt Baker versus Shayna. And then you had the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers versus the Dark Order as the main event, and we'll talk about that ending as well. So, going around the square circle, what was your thoughts on AEW Dynamite? Quavo.
Thank you for calling on the Quavo, because you know I'm always ready. Dynamite was dynamite, my friend. It was dynamite, bro. I'm trying to tell
Yeah.
you. And it was hard to watch. I won't lie, because so many things were going on, and NXT was going on at the same time. But at the same time, you also got Impact going on. So you're trying to keep all of this in order. But you also got Shaq showing up out of nowhere.
Right. My name is Shaq Diesel.
But he was on the way. Diesel. He was coming, and he was ready. And he's coming after Cody. So it was go time. It was go time. But my highlight of the show for me in Dynamite was Kingston. Oh man, that Kingston Archer match was a joy to watch. It was a joy to watch, and I love seeing how they flourished this feud the right way. But I had no idea that Kingston could oversell so hilariously.
Overselling, dog. When my man took and threw him outside the ring, that wasn't no overselling.
No, I'm not. No, if you didn't believe that was real, look, don't try this at home, kids. Please don't try this at home.
You, man. Do not try that, kids. Do not try that at home, please.
But Lance Archer relishing in the opportunity to tear Kingston a new one. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you watch for. This is the kind of stuff you wait for and hope for in an episode, right? Especially if you know that, but then you see Kingston coming out with the win, and I was like, come on, you just got spiked super hard by Lance Archer about 2 seconds ago, bro. And then he comes out with the win. It was great to watch. There's so many things that happen with Dynamite. But I definitely want to see what the other guys, if they watched it this week. Did you guys watch?
Oh snap. Jay Will, Greenville.
So I watched. Now, I'm harping back to a specific thing that I have a gripe with, and this comes for me watching AEW and Impact, WWE as well. Why do we have these old motherfuckers coming out here and doing shit, saying shit, and it's like I need there to be a payoff. Sting, I love you. I love the Crow Sting. I don't know what the fuck we're looking forward to with this shit. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. To me, right now, for all this that we're seeing, there better be a fucking payoff. I am tired. I'm tired of snow. I'm tired of it. It shouldn't make sense. All this doesn't make sense. I like Darby Allin. Don't get me wrong. It again, it makes sense in the perspective of Sting guiding him and passing along the torch. But right now, to see a match with Sting, I don't want that. I don't know. The one way I will feel positively about Sting right now is if it's a passing of the torch. Nothing else. I don't want to see him in any matches. Okay, let's move on. Now, as I think about the rest of the show, Young Bucks and Good Brothers. To be honest with you, watching the match, I thought it was a good match until the ending. We got into the ending, and it was. I have a problem with the usage of finishers, and it got bad to me that there was just like an unnecessary mockery of the Tombstone Pile Driver for the finish. I mean, it was like the move already looks devastating. Then you have someone hop over the top rope, flipping, and then help slam them down to the ground. It doesn't really particularly sell it anymore to me. It's like it's an unnecessary movement. Like maybe if I was back 13 years old, I would have liked seeing that move. It wasn't it for me on that match. Seeing the finish of that match. However, it was a decent match overall. It was a lot of good spots in the match. Seeing Ray Phoenix come out, I love his showmanship. I love Ray Phoenix showmanship. Great guy, great wrestler. John Moxley. Whew! Let's bring it back a little bit. We talked about finishers before. The DDT, the paradigm shift is a variation of the DDT. Let me tell you how devastating and how crazy that paradigm shift looked that night. That was the selling point of the show for me. Seeing that DDT and dude's legs just pop straight up into the air.
Kenny
sold
the shit out that joint. I was like, damn. Yeah, that was hard. That was vicious.
It went hard. That was, to me, best part of the night. Now, the one other match that I really wanted to bring up was the Hangman match. Now, again, a lot of unnecessary movements. There was a spinning punch. Still don't get the need for the spin. Just go for the punch. Then we have a flip over the rope for a finish that you watch it, you really watch it, it never really connected. I'm just like, okay, unnecessary. However, there was a great spot with a clothesline. It looked fierce. It reminded me of Bradshaw. It was a devastating clothesline. But AEW this week, I expect a little better. It wasn't bad. I just need something with Sting. Let's wrap this up, put it in a box, wrap it up, put a bow on it, and let's send it off because I'm tired of snow. And it hasn't even started snowing in DC yet.
Right. Like who knew Jacksonville could get so much snow? You know what I'm saying? We can't get none of that. That's that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm over it, bro. Like let's finish this up. Tell me what the end is. Let's get to the chase. I'm ready for this.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. What you think, Jose? Hey, Jose, no bull. Let me just say something right quick, Jose. Right? Then I want to get your thoughts.
Go
okay.
for it.
There was a part where my what the fuck moment, right? Was the Dax Haywood Jungle Boy match, I guess the ending. when they had fucking what's the name, Luchasaurus or the big dinosaur handcuffed to the rope, and I'm like, oh shit, they about to cut his mask off, and they cut his fucking horns. Like, what? Like, what in the fuck? What do you think, Jose?
Oh my. Yeah, see that rivalry was hilarious to watch. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Just for the simple fact that you got a dinosaur chained to two people. But I just certain things about AEW I like, certain things I don't like. That I wasn't a fan of that. It just I don't know. It didn't make me laugh the way I wanted to. It just kind of like lulled over.
What?
I don't know,
I
but
thought even in there with blue
funny.
balls.
It was funny. It was funny. I don't know, but it was just like, I don't know.
You got me all worked up for that shit. Oh, come on, man.
You know
Then
what I
I try
mean?
to go cut the dude hair, and then he
You
comes
know,
out.
it's like, oh my gosh, they're so played over.
Oh.
But to that, Jay Will said something funny that I'm glad he said it because that's why I'm glad he watched. He's been watching, guys. He's been watching, man. But this thing with Sting and with Taz,
and his son
this,
Darby, Sting's son Darby Allin.
I mean, bro. I mean, you want to show that you're a psycho, but you don't really pull off psycho the way we want you to pull off psycho's thing. Come on, man. He's over here like, oh, we're from the streets. I'm from the streets. I'm from the gutter. Like, bruh, come on now. Sting. Let's be real, bro. Let's
What
be
did he say he
real.
was? A hoodlum or something
You
like
ain't
that?
no hoodlum, Sting.
Then
You ain't
Darby
got
do
a
skateboard through the
you
window.
ain't got a hoodlum bone in your body, bro. Stop playing around, man. The most hoodlum bone you got is that bat you be holding, bro. Don't play like that, bro.
Oh shit.
And it just had me
Shit.
cracking up, man. It had me cracking up. I was just like, wow, like,
Man.
but you see Darby, he's like, well, I'm done with this skateboard. I'm gonna toss it through the window.
You know what I'm saying? I'll go find it later. I'm gonna throw it out the window, then I'm gonna go find it. And this thing's like, yeah, son, I'm gonna break this glass, and then I'm gonna go down and help you find your broken skateboard. There's probably somewhere down the street. And yeah, we're gonna hoodlum it out together.
Exactly. We're gonna hoodlum this out together.
You know,
from the street. Like, no, get out of here with that Sting. Stop playing around, bro. I was like, you need
to Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Oh my!
Oh man, but yeah, that was
those are the hilarious things, man. You're just
no,
like,
but then look, then
gracious.
you had Team Taz with their, their rebuttal, and what are they doing? They're out back just tossing the help around. Like, really? Brian Cage and Ricky Starr just tossing people around. Oh, y'all want to sell y'all product? We gonna fuck up y'all money. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. I'm like, man, really? Colin from DC. I know you was like, what the fuck?
You know I'm gonna shit all over this bullshit. I hate it. I hate every single second of this shit. Sting has always been my guy. Since Surfer Sting to Crow Sting, and I didn't watch TNA all that much, but the Joker Sting was very interesting. This Sting is making me mad as shit. Sting and Darby talking about how they're hoodlums made me roll my eyes into the back of my damn head. I hate that shit. And then you got Sting is a 61-year-old man just basically hanging out with his 13-year-old son. That's all I see. It just bothers the shit out of me. I like, but seriously, I'm seriously not trying to purposely shit on these two, but every damn week it's some lame ass shit. It's blowing me. I don't know what Sting is. Maybe Sting went there for the paycheck. I know they're trying to say, okay, maybe it's a passing of the torch, but you're really gonna pass the torch to Darby Allin? No, I'm good. Jericho hit a lion salt, and he was proud of himself. Great. Good job, Jericho. Great. As we move on, one thing I noticed about AEW, and I'm very impressed by AEW, it's their tag team division. I think I find myself saying, like, insert tag team has a lot of potential every single week, and this week it was the Varsity Blondes. They look like they had a spark of something. It's very, very fascinating. Dolph Ziggler's little brother had a good match with Hangman Page. To Jay Will's point. There it is. To Jay Will's point, I like Hangman Page an awful lot. I do not like that buckshot lariat. I think that shit is stupid. You go and you slingshot off the ropes, in theory, to build momentum. So you slingshot off the ropes to build momentum, and then you stop the momentum to clothesline somebody. That doesn't make any sense. It's not fluid. It's not one fluid, nice little motion. He slingshots, he stops, and then he clotheslines the hell out of him. So I don't know, that finisher bothers the hell out of me. The Dark Order's got a couple of guys that can really go. Stu Grayson, John Silver. They're great. They are great. It's crazy.
Yeah, they was getting it in.
It's unfortunate because they are little. They don't pop off the screen. They're short little white bald head guys. However, they have something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what their peak is, but those boys can definitely go. I love Britt Baker. She's a great heel. She's a great heel. The thing where she, it's basically kind of like a mandible claw, but she's not gonna touch anybody's nasty ass mouth. So she put the
I love that move.
That's great.
I love that move. I said she's not as hardcore as Mick Foley. She was like, fuck that shit. I'm not doing that nasty shit.
And I was looking at her little entrance video or whatever. It's effective. It's just showing the skeletal structure of people or whatever, and it's showing like a zooming into their mouth, and I guess she's, I don't know. It's very interesting. She could be great. I'm really surprised WWE let her go, because she can definitely be great. And last thing, it's kind of a thing that's been bugging me about AEW. Every single time I see a member of the Elite, I just get this uneasy feeling that they're just marks for themselves. It's just really over the top. Their fireworks, their promos, like they're all like really nice pieces. They're really nice pieces to the puzzle, but I'm not centering my organization around them. The Young Bucks, great tag team specialists. Hangman Page, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega. It's just in the grand scheme of things, I wouldn't be like, you know what? I'm going to strap a rocket to Kenny Omega. I'm going to strap a rocket to the Young Bucks. I'm going to strap a rocket. Maybe before that dumbass tattoo, you might have put a rocket, put a fire underneath Cody Rhodes. But he's the one. But aside from that, it's just, they come out, they have their, they have their ridiculously over the top fireworks display. They're involved in these ridiculous storylines. Cody's getting ready to fight Shaquille O'Neal. I don't why like Shaq when he was in his, not rewind that, Shaq towards the end of his career, if he would fall down like a plank. He can't bend his legs, he can't bend his back. He's that stiff. So I don't know what you're doing with this match or building to with this match with Cody and Shaq. I understand you're going to highlight Jade. She better be good. She has a lot. I
can't wait to see her action.
She has a lot of physical appeal. Like she looks good. She looks the part. But she better be able to wrestle.
Look the part when she pushed, who I think that was, she pushed Red Velvet.
Yeah,
man, she damn near pushed that chick in the next week.
Well, but she's got great upper body strength. She's got a lot of power. Now she's got to be able to kind of go in the ring. Yeah. If she can do that, they have a superstar. They have a superstar in AEW. But we'll see. But I don't want to see Cody and Shaq anywhere near each other. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I agree. They should have just dropped out, and for real, just have Jade Cargill and Red Velvet go at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see Jade. We want Jade. All right. And that's going to be our wrap up on AEW. All right. So next show, it was on at the same time AEW. And I ain't going to sit here and hold you. I can't get into NXT, man. I mean, the ending match with Finn surprisingly was good, but I found myself looking more at the Dynamite for some reason. But that match was good. Quavo, I believe me and you was talking about that. What is your thought on NXT?
Yeah, I mean, NXT is one of those shows where it's designed to showcase the new up and comers. And in NXT, we've had a lot of great superstars come out of NXT. My confusion is where they try to like create the story in NXT. And I just haven't engaged as much as I wanted to. But the moments that I was engaging, I saw Kushida. And Kushida caught my eye because I was like, wow, he is, kicking out of counts like seconds before the third one is gonna land. He's putting people in submissions left and right like a feisty tarantula. But and the grizzly young veterans won.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you also had him getting the crap beaten out of him later. So I'm like, what are they doing to Kushida? Why? He was just doing like for a little guy that's kicking ass. Like I'm like, bro, that's my guy. That's my underdog. you know. And then no, but something that like just kind of just shook me and made me think, wow, this guy might have some star quality. Is Loomis. Cause just that stare, it was like a smoldering intensity, dude. I was like, goodness. And the fact that they could play off of that stare, I was like, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. A lot of matches in there. I am still trying to balance between engaging with the two, but I love Dynamite. Dynamite has always been that platform that has brought out or gives us an early glimpse of what's going to make it to the main event shows like Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, NXT.
And Dynamite is that platform. You know what I mean? So we always want to see who are they going to showcase next. Person that I think needs to be out of Dynamite and already be in the main shows is Rhea Ripley. I don't know what they want to do with her, but I feel like at this point she should already be in the main event and they should be having a feud with the Riot Squad and Rhea Ripley. But then again, a fan can only hope so much. So I'll give it to anyone else who really watched all of Dynamite all the way through.
You keep on saying Dynamite, man. We're talking about NXT.
NXT,
I don't know why I
bruh.
keep saying Dynamite, man. I keep
Well, I
thinking
corrected him. He
Dynamite.
gonna
My
correct me.
bad.
I said I'm gonna get his ass at the end.
My
NXT.
bad. NXT.
Calling from DC. What you got?
Y'all, Jose, you're lucky. you're lucky as shit. Because you said Dynamite about 3 or 4 times. I was about to fire your ass
Right?
You're lucky. Marshall saved the shit out of you. But one thing you won't be saved on is Dexter Loomis is trash. Standing there and with your eyes all bugged out and staring people down, whack as fuck. That's ridiculous. There is nothing special about Dexter Loomis aside from his bug eyes, and even then, that's ridiculous. He needs to kick rocks. Leon Ruff reminds me of Kofi Kingston. That is either good or bad. That is either good or bad. I'm gonna leave that. That's a nugget. I'm gonna drop it. So when you guys watch it from now on. Just watch him. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna see a lot of
that.
Right? It's weird. Just watch him.
He's just small. He's just a small ass Kofi Kingston.
Exactly. A small ass Kofi Kingston. It's really weird to watch him. Like same facial features, expressions. Yeah, it's weird. So there are three big stars in NXT. Pete Dunne, rewind that. 3 big potential like main roster superstars, even though NXT the main roster, quote unquote. You know what I'm talking about, Raw and SmackDown. Pete Dunne could be a huge star on the main roster based off of his mannerisms and his wrestling, but that dude can't talk. Him and Baylor look to be fighting for the NXT title coming up, and that's gonna be a damn good match, a great match. But Pete Dunne could be something special. But again, he can't talk to save his life. It's very weird. I don't know if it's accent or he talks too slow and he's trying to be methodical, but they really got to work with him on that. Toni Storm is a woman's combination of old school Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho in terms of looks. I mean, she just has something special and she's thick. It's ridiculous. That's another story. I digress. So I'm a married man. So, but no, Toni Storm is just you could tell she's got a lot of potential. She's got a lot of charisma. She definitely has a great look. She could be a natural face. I think she's kind of wasting away on NXT. I guess they had her go from NXT UK to NXT, and I guess because of the pandemic, things have really slowed her down. But Toni Storm could be something special. And last but not least, WWE is wasting Malcolm Bivens. I think when they're struggling for managers. Malcolm Bivens is hilarious. Malcolm Bivens can play an excellent manager, the chicken shit heel manager to try and steal a win or be manipulative or this or that, or just in general, he's hilarious. So I don't know if you ever follow, if either of you guys follow him on Twitter. He is hilarious. They had this whole bit where he had a Walkman, and yes, the 1980, 1990 Walkman, and basically he was going all around the NXT locker room asking who stole his Walkman. So he went up to Shayna Baszler. He was like, Shayna, did you steal my Walkman? And because I saw you with it the other day, and she's like, no, and he's like, well, all right. But it's like it's funny. It's funnier if you see it. But I think Tony Storm, Pete Dunne, and Malcolm Bivens are the future of this company.
Okay. Jay Will?
So NXT this week, I let me tell you, I've enjoyed NXT for the past few weeks, but this week I really was only interested in the Dusty Rhodes tournament. Like it's not real. The whole show is not really getting me right this week. I will say, like, the first match of the evening, MSK. I think that they're going to be they're a great tag team. For them to be fairly new, well, not fairly new. Of course, you're upstarts if we think about, in the grand scheme of making it to the big show. But I think that they have a lot of potential. Great synergy from them. Great match with, Killian Dane and Maverick. I do like their synergy. Very good match. Using Maverick as a weapon during that match when he literally picked him up and slammed him on top of oh, bro, that was nice. It was a nice touch. Raquel Gonzalez. This is the main thing that I really wanted to talk about for NXT. She came out and she has the look of a true villain. I mean, stature-wise, she has the facial expressions. She has the look. I've never seen a women's tag match where there was heat for both teams coming out. I mean, they were booing both teams coming out. I don't think I've seen that ever. And when she came out, oh man, the heat was on. Again, another great callback to the finishers. Aaliyah did a devastating DDT in that match. I enjoyed the tag team matches on NXT this week. All the other matches, I mean, they were okay. I mean, they weren't terrible, but NXT this week, the tag matches were it for me. I was definitely more entertained by the tag matches this week.
Okay. Colin?
NXT definitely is like the only brand that actually has somewhat of a reasonable tag team division. So as you go into the Dusty Rhodes Classic, even little teams like Drake Maverick and Killian Dane, they had, some type of cohesive unit. The Grizzled Young Veterans, that is a tag team. That is a tag team. They've been tagging together for almost 15 years. I remember watching both of those boys in the NXT it was the tournament for the NXT United Kingdom title. Both of them very impressive. That is a true tag team, and it's something that's sorely lacking in the totality of the entire WWE tag team division. MSK, I guess they were the Rascals back in Impact. They're here. They have potential. I think something about their look bothers me, but they just got there, so they can find a way to transition into the WWE look and become like really stars that really pop off the screen. But they have nice little moves. I think I've seen a handful of things that they did back in Impact, and they had some really nice tag team moves. I get they can't bust that out just yet because I guess it's only their second or third match in NXT. So we'll see what happens, but the future is bright for those boys. To Jay's point again, Rachel Gonzalez, she does have a look. She beat Rhea Ripley clean a couple weeks back in that, I guess it was a street fight. The nastiest thing I saw, I think all week, physically saw, was, how when there's it's a tag team match, and then somebody's gonna get the hot tag, and here we go, it's a ring of fire, a ball of fire, and they're knocking everybody down, and boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. Rachel Gonzalez cut that bitch off in a millisecond and ended her. Rachel Gonzalez she cut that hot tag off in a second, and that was it. And then I think it was like some type of power bomb into a choke slam or whatever she did. Oh no, it was kind of like a last ride move with one hand. She cut her off in a second, that hot tag off in a second. just pinned her. It was crazy, and I hadn't seen that in a long time. And I'm usually with a hot tag, like I said, you see people bounce around the ring, and they, until the finish. She immediately cut that shit off at the end of the match. That was nuts. She definitely has a look. There's definitely something special about her. So yeah, Rachel Gonzalez and MSK and the Grizzled Young Veterans are definitely my stars from NXT for this week.
Okay. Cool deal. So that's our rundown, you know what I'm saying, for that show. Now we're going to talk about the end of the week show, Friday night show, Smackdown. All right. The Tribal Chiefs show, as we'll say. So the show started off, with DB, old Daniel Bryan out there. And then AJ, the phenomenal one. He came out with his guy Omos, and I don't know, maybe I missed something, maybe somebody could fill me in, but almost had a nasty ass knot on his head. They did their little thing in the ring, which is entertaining, because it's AJ, come on. Then we had to look back at Bianca Belair, shout out, and Bailey, Miss Ding Dong Hello, their little thing. And then we had a match with Bianca Belair and Bailey, great match. Then you had King Corbin versus Dominic Mysterio. All right. Then you had Big E, he had his little shtick out there with Miz and Morrison and Sonya Deville. Then we seen Sasha Banks and Reginald. And then we seen my man Shinsuke Nakamura and Sammy. Then we still got some more Kevin and Roman Reigns. Got some action from there, a little promo skit. Then we got to some more matches. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. And Cesaro, he came out there, was at ringside, and Sami Zayn was out there. So you know what that meant. That means we got some more matches behind that. It ended up being Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Big E versus Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and AJ. Then we had some old people come out. So you know what that meant. We had some more matches. And then we started with Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, Nakamura, Big E, and Otis versus Sami Zayn, Cesaro, AJ, with Miz and Morrison. And we had a big surprise closing out the show. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, my Stone Cold voice. So I want to go around a square circle and get everybody's opinion on SmackDown. And we're going to start in Flair Country, North Carolina. Jay Will, what was your thoughts on SmackDown?
So, SmackDown, let me just tell you, any moment where I noticed that Daniel Bryan is going to come out and he's going to talk, someone's going to interrupt him. The world genuinely hates Daniel Bryan. And I don't know why. Is it the positivity? Is it the yes? Why don't they like him? I don't get it. We're against positivity. Come on, guys. Come on. So let me just say that AJ Styles, again, an amazing heel. He's not like a final boss fight of Roman Reigns. Like, if we honestly wanted to characterize it, we can honestly say like Roman Reigns is like chaotic evil at this point. While we have AJ Styles, who's just honestly a neutral evil. He's not extremely he's not passive, but he's not an aggressive villain, and I appreciate that. That setup for that match was great. Then let me talk about Bianca Belair and Bailey. Let me just tell you, I think I said it last week. If you honestly pay attention to social issues, you can literally see a comparison of Bailey and Bianca Belair as Karens against other Black people. I just have to say that. Bianca beat her in the match. Then with her ending interview, her post-match interview, she is just completely humble. She is just a woman who's like, I'm happy to be here. I just have to show that I am out here killing it. And she kills it every single week. I enjoy her. She is Black excellence in wrestling. She is enjoyable to watch. her match was great. And shout out to Bayley, period. Like Bayley, like, even though she's playing this Karen-esque persona to me, she is an amazing wrestler. Even before this, like, she has been amazing. The ding dong hello, bruh, yo. It's no matter how, like, she's playing heel, but she is hilarious. She's enjoyable. But you understand, we are able to understand what's happening here. I enjoyed that match. Now, y'all know I love my lucha wrestlers. Rey Mysterio, it's time to sit down, Dominic, and let's talk about transitioning to another career. This is not for you. It's not for you. Or no, let's dial it back. Let's not say it's not for you. Let's try smaller wrestlers. He does not have the speed of Rey Mysterio to pull off a 619. That was like you could tell from his approach that it was not going to work. Dominic, it's maybe let's think about some people around your height. Let's think about people around your height, around your build, because right now you're setting yourself up, and it is not looking. And to me, there's no payoff if they set up an underdog story for this, because it's not looking like you're going to win a clean match in this situation. Roman, final boss battle. The way the tone of his voice, the pace in which he talks. Colin has said it before. It is immaculate. He is final boss battle. For my, gamers, if you play Final Fantasy, he is Sephiroth for you. He is going to be the one that you have to be. Cash, Tone, the Tetris
shout out to
boys.
Cash and Tony Cash Gaming Podcast.
Shout out to the Tetris boys. I had to get y'all in here somewhere. But now, the biggest moment of the evening for me, which has completely, I'm going to just speak for everybody else when I say this. I'm pretty sure we all have our predictions for the Royal Rumble. When I tell you, seeing Braun Strowman come out, literally, that has shaken all of our predictions. And I'm just like, ooh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Well, I had to shift some people out, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'm looking forward to, because of the Braun Strowman coming out, I am looking forward more to the men's Rumble match, more than ever. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. I can dig it. Yeah, like with me, yeah, that was sick. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I like the little things. You know what I'm saying? So going back, Big E had this sweater on. You know what I'm saying? And he had the Gremlins jump. And last week, I forgot what kind of sweater he had on. I think it was the Ghostbusters jumps. I'm like, yo, Big E, what's up with the sweaters, man? I'm fucking with them jumps. Quabo, what did you think about Friday Night Smackdown?
Oh, Smackdown was good. It's good. I mean, look, if you missed it, sucks to be you, bro.
And it was a going home show. Like, okay.
Oh yeah, they did it right. The way that Smackdown, has always done it right on a Friday night. Okay. My thing that had me laughing so hard was like the community theater Zoom call they did.
Roman got mad. He's like,
FaceTime with Roman, FaceTime with KO.
Hey, that was so tough right there. Like, yeah, that was boss level shit.
I was like, he had that one moment to be like, man, fuck this crap. Boom, click. I was like, if that isn't one of the toughest moves I've ever seen anyone do, just
after
click
he
on
talked
him.
Shit about his daddy and his granddaddy and his great granddaddy
and all the generations. Ooh. Like, how are you went on his granddaddy? How you gonna go on his granddaddy, bro? He did it. He did it,
He
and I tried to.
disrespected the whole family tree.
Whew, whew. He said, "Don't you dare respect your tribal chief, because even your granddaddy hasn't disrespected the chief." I was like, "What? What? He's a fool! Oh my God, he's got to be a fool to want to go against the chief." I'm trying to tell you, boss level status, like Flair Country likes to say it. Big boss, the final boss. But you know what? That final boss, I'm sorry. I don't know if you've seen the new contender hop in, new player one for the Texas boys out there too. Yo, there's the best and there's the rest. And right now there's the monster among men. And oh my goodness, the way they built all that up. First of all, it looks so confusing. Because you're like, where the heck did this random 5-on-5 match come from?
Where the fuck Otis come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, why
Who
Otis out
are
here?
you?
Like,
Did you guys send out emails, memos? Who is
you know what I'm
booking?
saying? Like,
Who
and
is
then Sheamus?
who is
What the fuck?
who
Sheamus
is in
getting all the
charge?
money. Where he come from?
Adam Pierce, where are you coming up with these matches, bro? Like, why are you allowing all of this? You had, first of all, you had DB, of course, with AJ, the phenomenal one. That was incredible to watch. And I personally, and I'm gonna say this right now, I'm not a good fan of DB. Okay, I'm sorry. He lost my fanship a long time ago. But he's been gaining it back little by little, and that opening was good because he opened up SmackDown really nicely. But I am done. I am done with them hyping up Goldberg and Drew. I just need to see it. Let's get it done and out of the way, because you're taking 20 minutes of advertisements just bombarding the entire show. 20 full minutes of just you hyping up Drew and Goldberg, bro. You already did that on Raw. I don't need to hear that crap. Show me something else. And having AJ and DB doing a great match. Like I like I said, I don't like watching DB, but even AJ made watching DB enjoyable for me. Now that's just for me, guys. Okay, don't take it personal. Whoever's listening, I still like DB. I still like D Bryan. Okay, but seeing the way that he did the work with Styles, and seeing the way that the Styles clash, like it, and then seeing Sami Zayn come in, and then now you have all this chaos coming out of nowhere, and then you're like, what the heck is this ECW? What is going on? What is going on? But seeing all of that, you got Nakamura, you got Big E, but then you have the monster among men. You got the Strowman, okay? Just making everyone like. Did you see Mrs. Face?
Yeah.
Did you see Mrs. Face?
Yeah.
I've seen Miz scared of
Yeah.
Lesnar, okay, but I ain't never seen him this scared of a Strowman.
That goes to credit to Miz, man. Like, come on, man.
He did a good job. No, he did a good job of selling that fear, bro. I could see that. And then Big E looked like he was just out of it. Like he was like, wait a minute, did I wake up to a beating? Like what the hell? Just like tearing it up. And I don't want to jump. I don't want to do any spoiler alerts, but that's definitely gonna be a choice to look at. Something worth watching for the Rumble,
Right. Okay. Mr. PipeBomb, Black Corner.
Yeah, I'll start off the top. Bianca and Bailey had a solid match. It was a really good match between two of the brightest stars on SmackDown. It was Bianca's biggest win of her career, and she had a nice promo highlighting the importance of the win. I really think these two probably had the best feud of the best women's feud of like the last 6 to 8 months. It's been really well done. To Jay's point, exactly, great work by both of them. It highlights. To Jay's point, I never thought of it that way in terms of a social aspect. But yeah, I could see that. It could be Karen versus Black Excellence. I could totally see that. So that was,
because you know what's funny? Bailey ended up hearing Michael Cole doing that match and even turned to Michael Cole, was like, I hear you, Michael. You know what I'm saying?
She does that all the time. She's so funny. Remember a couple weeks back, she was walking down the aisle and I guess she heard Michael Cole saying something, and she was like, "Shut up, Cole."
Right.
She's great, but she's definitely doing some of the best work in the WWE. Bailey, I can't. There aren't words that can describe how great Bailey's heel run has been. I'm totally surprised by it. I thought they just WWE kind of ruined Bailey as a face when she was coming out of NXT. She was like she was the definition of a baby face, and somehow, some way, it just got ruined. and then she had to transfer over into being this heel, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, yeah, she is a great heel. But back to Bianca. The fact her promo even it was very humble. She was just happy to be there. She was excited. She pulled that off really well. So I can't. It seems like every week I kind of bring this guy up, and I'm sorry about it, but that's what he was doing for the longest while. Apollo Crews was just happy to be there, shaking hands, kissing babies. Oh shucks, I'm just happy to be up here. I'm happy to be competing. Bianca, she comes off. She pulls that off 10 times better. So she had a personality first, and then she can show that humbleness later. So my hats off to both of them for that great match. No one cares about Baron Corbin. I think that's going to be my thing where I'm going to say that every week. No one cares about Baron Corbin. They announced on SmackDown that Tamina and Natalya are going to be fighting for the 30th spot. Why the fuck are those two fighting for the 30th spot in the Royal Rumble? Trash. Roman Reigns is a monster. The end. the end. I mean, I said it before last week. I kind of went off and I kind of lost my mind for a second, because as the words was coming out of my mouth, I was thinking about, like, putting him up against like Hollywood Hulk Hogan, putting him up against Brock Lesnar, putting him up against Triple H, putting him up against all these all-time villains in wrestling, and he's just either physically on their level or talking, verbal skills wise on their level and have surpassed them. It's psychotic. But again, this promo that just happened this past week, and I won't even get into all the levels of it. But this promo from Roman just shows that he's literally the best heel, the most dangerous heel in the business right now. It shows that he's just on a different level from everybody else. Jose said it last week, and Owen said it this week, that Reigns is portraying a boss type character, a kingpin type character, or whatever, a mafia type character. And he's right. But the dangerous thing is, I feel like those characters have weaknesses. And again, we have yet to see a weakness from Roman Reigns. I know Quavo said something about Braun. No, it's not going to be Braun that stops him. It just won't. But speaking about Braun, it's funny. I didn't watch SmackDown live. I didn't watch it live. I recorded it and I watched it, like, I don't know, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And as all hell was breaking loose, and as the night was progressing, I was saying to myself, I haven't seen Braun Strowman in a long time. Where the hell's Braun? Is he hurt? What's going on with him? And then surprise, surprise, he randomly shows up on the screen later on. But yeah, he's the monster among men. He shows up and he beats the shit out of people. That's Braun's gimmick, all right. But I still don't have him as a top pick to win the Rumble. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah, I mean, all in all, you had some good spots. Like I said, that was a good moment right there. Even with Shinsuke telling Sami Zayn, go to hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that little skit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sami, he's really doing his heel thing. I guess we could say he's the male equivalent to Bailey right now, because he's really putting out some great work, Anybody want to jump in? It's Royal Rumble season. Who wants to come in? Contestant number one. What you got?
So let me just say for 1 second, because you guys have heard me on record talk about how good AJ Styles is running this villain thing. Now, there's a moment where I got rubbed completely the wrong way by him. Pause. That when he said, "You're coming on SmackDown, the show that I built." First of all, it's The Rock show. Don't do that to yourself. You're not there yet, bucko. Let's not do that to yourself.
That says that the house that AJ Styles built. It's correct. That is The Rock show.
The Rock show. Let's not do that. So to me, it would have been a funny moment. Of course, in a narrative sense, it would have served no good for The Rock to be like, whoa, in his Rock-esque fashion to come out and do that. But we know, like, it can always be in Vince's back pocket to bring that out. But that would have been an exciting moment just for the fans' perspective. On a story-wise perspective, yeah. But again, it just goes back to how we've been doing a good job of building up certain characters for the show. And that's the main thing I wanted to highlight with this. There's certain characters that we're getting great build up when it comes to heels are concerned, like AJ Styles right now, Bailey right now, Roman right now. We're getting a hard push for our heels to get developed, but I'm still having a problem with buying into any baby faces right now on the men's side. I'm not sure I feel anybody else at this point is going to take something to the next level. And yeah, this is going to have to just lead into our Rumble conversation.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you there. I don't see it either, and I guess that's going to be a topic for another day. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to leave it there, and we're going to move on into Impact. Another tough show for me to watch, but I love wrestling, so I try to check out as much as I can. And this week's show was Fallout from Hard to Kill, the pay-per-view. And what just got me with this show, and you guys can give me your thoughts, what got me on this jump was the beginning with Rich Swann coming out saying how he feel like he's failed because he got pinned by Kenny Omega. And it's like, man, hush, okay? And then Tommy Dreamer, and you're going to offer this, like, don't get me wrong. I love Tommy Dreamer, you know what I'm saying? But to say that this 50-year-old guy is deserving of a title match, no, he's not. He's not. And then you had Ken Shamrock come out, like, Ken, fuck are you doing, bro? If you don't go sit your old ass down, you taking them Wolverine injections like this Logan, man, when that shit wear down, you're going to be out there hurt like shit. You know what I'm saying? Best part is Tony Khan buying they ass, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. I want to go around and see what everybody think. And I'm going to start in the blue corner with Quabo. What you think about
Quavo, I love me some Impact, bro. I'm gonna be brief though because we ain't got enough show. But I'm glad y'all are listening. So, Rosemary, amazing thing to watch. So I'm gonna give you 5 good moments that in the Impact show were worth watching. So, Rosemary, awesome, 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 awesome finish. Hilarious. Loved it. It was great. It was lit. It was lit for lack of better words. But let me keep going let me go. Let me not hype it too much, okay? Because Impact wasn't amazing. But the people that they had in there had some interesting stuff to watch, okay? However, Shamrock at the end, bro, come on, man. Oh, goodness gracious, Shamrock. Goodness gracious, Shamrock. Just don't. you know. But EY was doing some great things. One thing that I really liked watching, and I'm trying to recall it. Oh, it's escaping me. It's escaping me. Oh yeah, Hard to Kill. That's right, Hard to Kill. Because we haven't gone over it yet. But Matt Cardona. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, always ready. You got to see it. Matt Cardona, he's on it. But I want to give some time for the other guys, so let me give it back to you, Soul Man.
Okay. Jay Will, red corner. What was your thoughts on this week's Impact? Did you like seeing Ken Shamrock come out?
Bro, now I've been saying it all episode. Get these old motherfuckers out of here. Ken Shamrock is old. He's looking extra old. Like, there's no matter how much training you do ahead, like preparing, bro, you look old. You look gassed. Then at the end of the match, well, first, let me say the match itself was a decent finish. I mean, they had some really good spots with a bunch of finishers happening at once, spears, some strong kicks, cutters, stunners, all that. But then Ken Shamrock, you're not in your WWE days trying to snap on the wrestlers and put the ankle lock on them. First of all, the ankle lock didn't even look like it was really locked in. It didn't look like it was anything important at that moment. Ken, retirement is always available. I know a guy for you. I know a guy for you. If you need anything, call me. We can make it happen. And the second thing, the second thing I mainly want to talk about, and I am of the culture. I am, proud black man, Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan. That segment felt like I was set back so far when I see them out there popping bottles and having catering when they're talking about, yeah, we got the collard greens, we got the lemon pepper chicken. Like, bro, no, absolutely not. It was cringy. I did not need to see that. I'll impact this week. Hot trash juice. Trash. Don't want it.
I told you, thank you, Tony Khan, for coming to buying them ass, man. That's like the best fucking shit. You know, Ken Shamrock, go holler at Sylvester Stallone. Maybe he can get you in the next Expendables movie, man, or something. You know what I'm saying? Jose, give me the last word of Impact, man.
Yeah, they gotta organize that crap, bro. I mean, it's like I tell you, man. They got star players now. Now get that shit in order, man. Get that shit in order, bro. Because ending it with Shamrock putting somebody in an ankle lock and I give it to Flair Country. That was hilarious, but yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so real fast, going around the ring. One word, show of the week. Colin from DC.
Smackdown.
All right. Jay Will.
The Rock Show.
All right. Quabo.
Now you know we gotta lay it the Smackdown. You gotta do it.
All right. That's what it is. Now next, we got it. Y'all was talking about it. And we here. Royal Rumble predictions. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Here we go. Now, remember, the card is subject to change. Some matches may happen, some matches may not happen, okay? But this is what my sources is telling me, okay? Now, we may have these on the pre-show or on the actual pay-per-view, all right? And that's the IC Championship, Big E versus Sami Zayn. In the US Championship match, Bobby Lashley versus Riddle. So if you've been watching, you've been paying attention, you know that these matches could happen. I mean, Riddle did go through the gauntlet, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see. They're not advertising, don't know why, but like I said, card subject to change. But the matches we do know of is the SmackDown Women's Championship match with Sasha Banks versus Carmella, the women's tag match with my boo Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Then we got the match that everybody's waiting for to see, the WWE Championship match, Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. And then we got the one I'm waiting to see, Tribal Chief, the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in the Last Man Standing match. And I think that's the one a lot of people are looking forward to. And then we have the actual fourth Women's Royal Rumble match, which I'm looking forward to. And then we have the Men's Royal Rumble match. Okay? And I had a special source tell me that my man, CM Punk, may be in the building. That's right. We'll see, baby. So, Colin, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions? Who you think is going to get it, man? Who you think is going to do what? What do you think is going to happen at the Royal Rumble?
I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view. I mean, you start at the top. I got Sasha over Carmella. I think they just started her title reign, a couple of months ago or whatever. Back on Raw when she was Raw champion, she had a lot of one and dones. She would lose her first title defenses. I think this time around, I think she's in her second or third or whatever. I feel like they got her with a lot of momentum. So I don't see them taking the title off of her there. The tag match between Asuka and Charlotte versus Nia and Shayna. It should be, in theory, Nia and Shayna. because they consistently team with each other more than I guess the current tag team champions. But it does
Mhm.
look like those two are going to break up soon. So by process of elimination, it's going to be Asuka and Charlotte, I think. Drew versus Goldberg. You know, I'm really conflicted with that one because, like I said,
Mhm.
if Drew beats a 54-year-old man that who's past his prime was in 1998. It's one or the other, right? It's either Drew beats a man whose prime was in 1998, or they basically Goldberg beats a year buildup of a top draw on Raw. So I
In
don't
2 seconds.
exactly. It's you know the minutes. You know the match is only going to be like a minute or too long because
Mhm.
he gets gassed in 2 minutes. It's not
Mhm.
gonna last long. So I'm really conflicted. So if I had to pick, my brain says Drew, but I'll go with Goldberg because the WWE likes to do dumbass things.
Right.
Just like they had this whole build with the Fiend. The Fiend ate Seth Rollins alive. So they had the build of Seth Rollins, Fiend ate him up. They had the build of the Fiend and just ate him up. Fiend was fed to Goldberg. I think the same thing is going to happen to Drew. You didn't have to put Goldberg in this match, but you did put Goldberg in this match. He's inserted in this match for a reason. I got Goldberg, unfortunately. Reigns and Owens. Reigns is the best character in the business. He's not gonna get stopped by Stone Cold Kevin Owens. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says. It's this match. This I guess the third in the trifecta of the trilogy is the one I'm most interested in. They really did make a good story with Kevin Owens, especially after this promo that just happened the other day. Women's Royal Rumble. I got Bianca Belair. She's got the momentum going in there. I think Belair. I don't know if it's Belair's time to win, but I think she makes the most sense to win. And I guess last but not least, they did a good job building up the men's Royal Rumble. For the longest while, you really didn't know who it was going to be. You saw Daniel Bryan talking, but Daniel Bryan's lost a lot of matches. Obviously Nakamura, he got cost that gauntlet, so he's kind of lurking in the background. Cesaro has basically damn near gone undefeated this entire year. This AJ's gone undefeated this entire year, so it could have gone any sort of way. Obviously, you got Braun just making a comeback and making a statement. Hell, you got dark horse picks like Biggie and Keith Lee. So any one of those boys could have won. However, I think WWE tipped their hand when Edge showed back up on Raw this past week. Should he win? Hell no. Hell no. He's 49 years old. But I think WWE is going to do it again. They're going to do what they always do, and they're going to give it to somebody who doesn't need the victory. But the sentimental story of Edge returning and trying to regain a title or a championship that he never lost is right there. I think he's going to fight Roman, spear versus spear. And again, since there's no other credible threat to Roman right now in this final boss level, to Jay Will's point, they haven't built him up. They haven't built up any other of the other faces. Maybe a 49-year-old Edge being, coming off the shelf with being off on the shelf for a year. Maybe there's enough story for him to go against Roman. So Edge is my pick.
Okay. Quabo, what about you? What are your predictions for the Royal Rumble?
Thank you for asking there, Soul Man. So
No problem.
the Rumble is looking good. I mean, I know that it has enough matches that I'm definitely gonna be watching. For the men's Rumble, it's hard to tell, man, because there's so much speculation out there in social media nowadays, and I'm
Like
glad
my
to
man
all.
Punk showing up.
Don't take my words out of my mouth. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, man. You gotta get
Yes.
excited,
Yes.
man.
Yes. 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 I get excited, bro. I get excited because it's the little things, they don't make it obvious, and think about it. Why would they bother to hype up Edge so early? Because Edge would have been a pop by itself, right? So then they got an ace up their sleeve. I don't know what it is. I'm hoping it is. You know who it is. I don't even want to say his name out because it might jinx it. But I'm hoping he comes out. I don't know if he's gonna win, but I feel like at the end of the day, they want to give it to Strowman. Just because you know he's got hype, bro. He's got that. Vince likes Strowman. That's the thing. And you see the way he came back. My man has been clanging and banging, bro. He came back looking ready to be a champion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like he might win the Rumble. But I'm still keeping an eye out because if the real pipe bomb comes out and not this bottle rocket, then all bets are off, bro. All bets are off, and it might just be the real pipe bomb. Okay.
Oh shit.
Women's Rumble. Women's Rumble. If they don't give it to Belair, they just don't want to have a good champion. Okay. Belair,
Mm-hmm.
we've been saying this for a while now, so man, like she deserves a title. She's putting in
Mm-hmm.
work. She does great on the mic. She has a great
Mm-hmm.
feud with Bailey going on. People love Bailey. So seeing their kind of interaction, it could work. Um, Drew Goldberg, bottle rockets, right? It'll probably be 2 minutes long. And I don't, and at this point, I kind of don't care who gets it because they might want to give it to Goldberg, but too little, too late. So if they do, okay. If they don't, whatever. But Drew getting it, I mean, if they give it to Drew and you know, it doesn't change anything. You get what I'm saying? Like him beating Goldberg, okay, great. Next, so I'll be watching for that last man standing though, because those are one of
Yeah.
my favorite matches to watch. I'm telling you, I think my favorite one was with Triple H. I know Triple H has done a lot of great last standing matches, but Roman Reigns KO. If this is last man standing, I would love to see KO beat the Big Boss.
Mm-hmm.
However, knowing how the network works and they've been doing all this work to push Reigns, it's eventuality, it's inevitability. So it could happen, but if it's a bet, I'll bet him $1 right now that KO wins. I bet you a Dogecoin he wins, bro. I bet you a Dogecoin he wins. The tag team championship. If Baszler and Jax don't get it, I don't want to watch this show no more. Okay,
uh,
I don't want to watch this show no more because this tag team with Oscar and Flair just doesn't make sense to me.
mhm.
It's okay, but it doesn't make sense to me. But that championship, I would rather see Banks keep it personally.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
like how she does her work. Even with her promos with Reggie. You know,
Mhm.
she's hilarious. It's good to watch her. I think she does a great job as a champion. It's a
Mhm.
it's a easy, well, not easy, but it's a great role model to have for young girls that want to see that you can do this as a wrestler. It doesn't have to be a male dominated sport, that you can be the star, that you can really shine like that. And seeing her do that and seeing her shine and really holding that title like a champion, it's worth
Mhm.
watching. So I hope she does win and keeps that title going, man. But those are my choices for the Rumble.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Like I love Sasha, and I'm hoping she's going to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my prediction for that match. That Sasha's going to come away the winner in that beef with Carmella, but Carmella don't know when to go away. She's like a little fly, and I think Reginald, he's going to be right there with her. You know,
Exactly.
um, Oscar, don't I don't like seeing bad things happen to my boo Oscar. So seeing her and Charlotte lose the tag team championships would be a bad thing. And I don't like seeing it. I like seeing her have two belts. That's my favorite. So but Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are a formidable tag team. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did get the win because, like y'all said, that's just how WWE can play with our emotions sometimes. Uh, Drew McIntyre Goldberg. If Goldberg wins, it's going to be in less than 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So when the match starts, break out the stopwatches. If it goes past 2 minutes, McIntyre's going to win. All right, that's how I'm going with that one. The Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. There is no way in the hell that WWE is going to take the belt off of Roman Reigns at this time when he is just so fucking awesome with my man Paul Heyman. It's not happening. All right. And I'm gonna save my predictions for the matches, Royal Rumbles for the end, and I'm gonna replace them with these two for y'all. If they happen, you know what I'm saying? Big E's gonna retain. He's gonna come out with another tight ass sweater next week. All right. And with the Lashley Riddle, I would not be surprised if Riddle won. However, I just got a feeling deep down that Bobby's going to retain. Bobby needs to retain. All right. He needs that. And I'm gonna give y'all my Rumble predictions after Jay Will. So Jay Will, what do you think?
So, so for this card, I'm really interested in the card. Um, we kind of forgot, we kind of brushed over the Big E versus Sammy fight. Big E wins. It's not even a good chance for Sammy. Like Sammy, just no. This match ain't going to be for him. Bobby Lashley versus Riddle. David and Goliath situation. Goliath is going to win. It's not even not even going to be a thing.
Right, especially since he be getting his rocks off during the week. You know what I mean? Like he always coming up sneaking them and come on that bullshit match he had with MVP in the Gauntlet. Like really, like there wasn't even no point in having that shit.
No.
And usually when somebody has that, that means that the other guy is going to win. So yeah, Lashley. I'm sorry, but go ahead, Jay.
So the Sasha Banks and Carmella fight. I think that it's been some interesting building for this, but it's cringy at best with Reginald. So Sasha wins. Sasha wins, and she wins clean. Mark my words on that.
Right.
Asuka and Charlotte versus Shayna and Nia. Now, it doesn't make sense for Charlotte to lose at this moment. And they're building something with Asuka to lose, possibly to Alexa Bliss. So I'm saying that Charlotte and Asuka are going to win. However, we're going to see a bad breakup of Nia and Shayna Baszler at the end of this match. I'm personally for that. Like we need something more from the two of them. It's just going to be interesting to see who is going to be the one the crowd is going to lean more towards. Roman and KO. Now, if you are paying attention, I have been very adamant about how I'm over this feud. Roman is going to win. There's no doubt about it that Roman's going to win. There's too much with him right now that's enjoyable as a character that we have to milk this as long as we can. KO has been like this week for sure. With the promo this week, might have been the biggest moment for me with the whole feud. The feud needs to end on tonight. I'm over it. It needs to end. It's done. It's run its course. Now, Drew and Goldberg. Again, old motherfuckers need to go back to where they belong. Now, my prediction for who's going to win. I'm going to say that the crowd and the fans lose because this is some bullshit that we have to sit through this match. I don't want to see this. Unfortunately, Drew is going to win. It serves zero narrative purpose for Goldberg to get a title. It serves no purpose for me to see that. We want to see him come back and wrestle permanently? No, I'm good. Now, the Rumble itself, great build-up for both of them, for the men's and women's. We have very few confirmed, especially on the women's side. We have very few confirmed, but my predictions for both of them. All I'm going to say is who I'm looking forward to seeing in the Rumble and seeing what they can do. I'm looking forward to seeing what Edge is going to do. Especially, I'm looking for Braun Strowman. Women's, honestly, it's up in the air. We have a lot of. We've built up a lot of great talent in the women's division overall. I've been advocate for Bianca Belair. I love her. Sasha Banks, big advocate for her. Asuka, great. Charlotte with the star power. Then Nia Jax pull it in, double work on this show. Nia, my bad. double paycheck on this show coming into the Rumble. So the Rumbles are looking exciting overall. That's definitely going to be the thing that I'm really watching for this tonight.
Okay. So I'm coming to you last. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be your Rumble entry. You get the last one. All right. Spoiler. I'm gonna go around and get everybody's quick prediction, even though you gave it to me. I want to hear it again. So Quabo, who is your Royal Rumble winner from the men?
for the men's, it's got to be the monster among men, the Strowman. And for the
Oh,
women,
okay.
please give it to Belair. Please.
Yes. Yes. Okay. That is my pick too for the women, Bianca Belair. And Braun Strowman for the men, unless CM Punk enters. Then they're giving it to Punk. Fight me. Colin from DC.
Fight me.
I'm taking Jay Will's line. That's right. Fight me. Colin from DC. What's your pick for the Royal Rumble match for the men?
I got Edge.
Edge.
Yeah, Edge.
Okay. For the women?
Bianca Belair.
Okay. And the last entry, Jay Will.
So
We know your men is Braun, right?
So I'm going to, you know what? No, I'm going to double down on it. I'm going to go ahead and say the winner is going to be Braun Strowman.
Okay.
A week ago, I would have said Shinsuke. I'm honest. Women's.
That is your sleeper pick there. We'll say Shinsuke your sleeper pick.
Yes.
Okay.
That's who I'm secretly hoping it would be, but that's on the fans' perspective versus story-wise, it makes more sense for Braun Strowman to come back.
Okay, and your women.
Women, Bianca.
Bianca. Oh, Bianca, we love you. Good luck tonight. You know what I'm saying? We hope to see you toss as many of them females over the top rope as you can and take your ass to WrestleMania, because we know the Royal Rumble starts the road to WrestleMania. And that is our show today, ladies and gentlemen. And we like to thank Tony Cash because, you know, y'all keep on calling them Mario and Luigi and everything. But look, they be having them things over there. I'm trying to tell you, go check them out. Tony Cash Gaming Pad Podcast, because they about to whoop Jay Will and Quabo ass when they link up, man. I don't know what game y'all gonna be playing, but they about to serve y'all, man. Y'all keep on calling them Mario and Luigi and shit, man. They ain't even tell y'all what game you're gonna play. They said, be ready. Be ready. That's what they said. You know what I'm saying? And also check out my lovely ladies, the Facts Crew. You know what I'm saying? Every Friday morning, you know what I'm saying? These women are talking about politics, relationships, life, and entertainment, baby. Like, they are hilarious, they are real, and they keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Tony Cash, you can catch them on Thursdays at 11. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, hey, they puts it down. All right, make sure you check them out. Y'all have fun today, fellas?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Y'all ready for the Rumble tonight?
Always having
ready for
fun.
the Rumble tonight?
Oh,
Yes,
it's gonna
sir.
be it's a slobber knocker
down.
in the way, man.
It's going down. Make sure the snow's gonna be on the ground. Make sure you got your drinks and your foods and you're nice and warm, because it's gonna be cold as shit outside. You know what I'm saying? Quavo, you have fun today, bro?
Always have fun with you guys. It's always a pleasure.
My man. Jay Will. Woo! You have fun, man.
Woo! You know it, bro.
I know, that's right. Colin from DC.
Yes, sir. Always.
All right. And don't forget, everybody, this is a 613 Faye production. All right. You can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all your major platforms. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that comment section. We love to hear from you. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your predictions are going to be for the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Who do you think that you're going to come out on top? You know what I mean? What's your pick? Who you got? All right. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, leave this shit to the professionals. Don't try this shit at home. And we out.
Hey, right back. Shut the fuck up.